Good morning and welcome back. I think this is episode 6. Today I want to make the turtles that we can jump on to cross the water. So let's get right into it. First of all, I want to add a node 2D. This is because the turtle will actually be made up of multiple different sprites. So I'll take the node 2D and I'll drag these turtle assets that I made in Figma into the scene view. And now I'll put them all below the node 2D. I'll go and set their transform back to 0, and I'll take the node 2D and I'll move this to a tile that is a water tile. So I'll put the snap back on and I'll move it here. And now I'll take the snap back off to move the parts of the body. I'll also call this node 2D a turtle. Now I'll take the body and I'll move it back a little bit. I'll move the head here. I'll put it below the body, I think. And I'll move the leg here. Now I will duplicate the leg. Let's duplicate it 3 times. And I'll move one here. I'll go to the offset. Do flip H. I will move one below here, go to the offset, flip H, and the last one I'll move here, and again I will flip H and flip Y. So now this looks good, and I'll move the body to be on top of the legs as well. Actually, I'll take the moment to add another node 2D and call this legs. I'll rename it to LE to legs. And I'll put all the legs under it. So we can move them in one go. So that's great. We have something that looks like a turtle. I hope you agree. And now we'll make a basic animation, and we'll use one of the tools that you will typically use to make animations, which is called an animation player. We'll add this to our turtle, and when we add it, we get this new interface here called the animation player interface. And we'll go here to add a new animation, and we'll call this dive to go below the water. And now we can basically control all of the properties or whatever properties we want. So I'll go to my turtle leg and I'll go to transform and I'll click on this little key icon next to position. And this will add a new keyframe. I'll click create, and now the position is recorded in this keyframe. I'll zoom in a bit here and I will add another key to basically the time of 1, and I will modify these values a little bit. So I want to make the leg go under the body. So this will be something like 46. And now if I hit play, then hopefully this leg should move. Okay, it moves, but it moves in the opposite direction of what I want. So this was minus 29, so the number needs to be bigger, so maybe 0 will be good enough. 0 looks quite good. So now I'll quickly pause and do this for all of the other legs as well. Okay, and now I have added these keyframes for the other legs as well, and I will play, and we have our animation of the legs going below the body. I will add the same for this head, create a position. What you can also do is if you go to a certain time and then you move the node here and then click on the key icon again, then this will generate a keyframe of that position. So it's like a visual way of creating the animation, which might be useful when you do something a bit more complicated. So now we have the head moving below the body as well. And now we will go and set up a shader to animate the body fading away. So to set up a shader, we'll need to go under the node that we want to use. So that will be turtle body in our case. We'll go to material, click on material again, and click on new shader material. We'll click on this one more time, go to shader, and click on new shader. I'm gonna call this turtle body, and I'm gonna press create. And now if I click here one more time, I'm going to get this code editor where I can write my shader. So what are shaders? Shaders are programs that run on the GPU, and they are very efficient, but also very difficult to write. That is because they are run on every single pixel or every single vertex, like these functions say here, and they require a bit of a different mindset. So I was doing a few experiments before, and I found something that works. So I'll be using the code from before. So I'll just quickly copy paste something. And here we are. So I will walk you through this code. The first thing that I have added is a sampler 2D, and it's a uniform. A uniform is basically like an export variable, meaning that they show up here in the editor. So an image, I'll actually maybe rename this to mask to be a bit more precise. Let's see, there's something, redefinition of mask. Okay, I'm calling it mask here. Okay, so maybe I can call it mask image. Now this parameter changes to mask image. So this will be a texture that I will sample, and based on some properties of this texture, I will do something in my shader. So I'll drag the radial fill texture that I created in Figma. This is just a radial gradient going from the center of the image outwards to be the mask image. And another uniform variable I have set up is a range. This is just a float value that goes from 0 to 1. And as you can see, this is already doing something to the image. So what is it doing? In the fragment function, which is called on every pixel for the image, we set up a color variable. This is just the current color of the pixel that we are currently operating on. And we get this by using the texture function, which is provided to us by Godot. And we pass in an image and a UV. The image is the image that we are operating on, and the UV are the coordinates. So instead of XY, we have U and V. We also create a mask variable. So here we do the same thing as above, but instead of the texture that we have that the shader is on, we give it the mask image. And here we set the color of the pixel to be the color of the image. So basically, this line is just saying the pixel can be whatever it should be. And then we have an if statement where we say that if the mask alpha is below the range value, then the alpha of the pixel should be 0. So this means that as the range gets bigger, we see less and less of the image. And now we need to animate the value of range getting bigger. So we'll use a tween for that. So I will create a script on Turtle. It won't be built in because I might need to use it somewhere else as well. And I'll go and create a new function called fade out. And I will paste in this code that I wrote before. So what does this do? We create a new tween, and we need to tween a property. This isn't actually self. This needs to be the turtle body, because that is the node that has the shader on it. Here we specify the property. This is how you get at the range variable. So you do material, shader parameter, dash, and then range. So this part needs to correspond to the name of the variable that we set up. The final value will be 1.0, and the duration will be 2 seconds. So something quite large so that we can see how the value animates over time. And we cannot preview this in the editor, but we can preview it in our game. So I'll just call the fadeout function in the ready function. So now when I hit play, we should be able to see the turtle body fade out. And that's exactly what we get. So now we can also play the animation, or actually let's incorporate this function into the animation. We can go to, okay, the animation player was under legs. It doesn't have to be under legs. It can be under turtle as well. See if it still works. It does, so that's great. And now we can go to turtle, and in the ready function, sorry, we said that we would incorporate it into the animation. So let's do that instead. I will click on add track and go to call method track. And I will select the turtle, which has my script. And I will insert a key here. Now you can see that we have our fade out function here, and I'll click open on it. So I will play the animation now, or rather I will start the game and it will play the animation, and basically I expect it to first animate the legs and the head, and then call the function to fade out the body as well. Okay, there is, I am not actually playing the animation, so I'll need to do access the animation player, and I will call play, give it the name of the function, name of the animation, which is dive. So now first the legs animate and then the body animates away. And as you saw there, the legs are actually revealed when the body is when the body becomes hidden. So I will do something like in the fade out function, I will say legs dot visible equals false, and the same for the turtle head. So let's see if that makes sense. So perfect, it looks like it's disappearing, and I will make this quite a bit faster, so let's say 0.7. Perfect. So that's our turtle animation, and I think I will call this for now, and we can look at actually using the turtle as a platform in a future video. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the first look at shaders in Godot and at the animation player, and see you next time.